This is Boxing Tickets NIE in association with SB Sports. It's 2023, and what better way to start it off with someone obviously made their debut towards the end of last year. Gerard, I guess that's a good place obviously to start off. Probably a long time coming, obviously a long time out of the ring. Does it probably feel good for you now that you can now say I'm now a professional boxer? Is the reality sort of kicked in yet that you are a pro, or is it guess it just is a case of sort of things go ahead as sort of planned? It was sort of like a low key sort of debut for you, obviously over in Oldham, Paddy obviously fighting in Germany the same night. But for you, obviously, is it now like sort of is that another box ticked? You're now back in the ring. You're now a professional boxer. How does it feel now to now pretty much say you are a professional boxer because you've had a debut out of the way?
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good to get the debut in Fenley. Obviously not under good circumstances, but I had to take it. Or again, if I hadn't took that, we were probably maybe my debut coming up here in February. So I got the opportunity and I took it. Obviously, Dane all couldn't come over and and whatever, but I was buzzing to get it in October. Had a week rest and then I was straight back in the gym again.
And obviously, it's not like I know when sometimes people look at records and things like that. Steve Maguire, I think, obviously 4 wins, 29 defeats. But obviously, his record doesn't tell a tale. He's called the live wire. I obviously remember seeing him fighting obviously Cian Doyle and stuff as well. He comes to obviously test you in obviously the right ways, and you didn't have it all your own way. I think it was two rounds to one, and obviously a round drawn as well. Does that sort of give you, I guess, confidence in the fact that you've an opponent coming to sort of test you? He's obviously, if you're going to make mistakes, he's going to obviously try and crucify you and things like that. But you didn't have an opponent that was sort of going to lie down, someone you blow away in 30 seconds. Do you sort of look at that and go, it's 4 good rounds banked? Because, what was it, 3 years? 2 years?
Yeah,
Over 2 years you're out of the ring?
Yeah, definitely. I think I needed that, needed the rounds. Because I actually enjoyed it. When I was in there, I enjoyed getting the rounds in. The first time I'd done 4 rounds, I'd done 3 minutes before, but I hadn't done 4 rounds. So, I enjoyed it, and it was good to get the rounds in and sort of start learning my trade. And again, he came for it. He actually, I remember walking out. He had his family and all there. His family were booing me on the way out. I was going, the hell's going on here? But no, it was good. It was a good experience all in, mate. Going there, different. I remember actually walking into the venue, and I was walking on my own, and I remember walking down the corridor, and he was there with his team and his family, and I was there on nobody, by myself, and I was like, me, this is it, So no, I was buzzing to get the rounds in, and I was happy to get the win.
And I guess sometimes when you make your debut, obviously you're fighting now coming up now just for 4 weeks in Belfast. It'll probably feel like a debut again, but to have it away from sort of the cameras and the media and everything else from here, sometimes you can sort of make it low key and you can sort of fine tune wee things, because let's face it, you're going to make mistakes in your debut and everything else like that as well. Dean not being there, I guess he's been a big influence, and obviously he's switching over. Do you find that as obviously a good progression now that I guess probably it's not so well known by people, but you're potentially, obviously, hopefully having your second fight then in November and Mark Dunlop show, and it didn't work out, and then obviously we're looking at the Conlon show in December. Do you sort of see missed opportunities sort of there, or just didn't happen? It didn't happen for one reason or another, but you just kept training away and just kept plugging on.
I know it's going back to the fight. It's all experience, and you need experience. If I can go over and do it on my own, how will I perform when I have my corner and I'm in my home comforts and stuff? Because it was literally I was out there from the Wednesday on my own, done the weight on my own, travelled around the place on my own, and then it was only actually on the day of the weigh-in after the weigh-in, my family had came, and then the day of had a few people come over. So I was there on my own. It was good to experience, sort of being there, and yeah, going back then to fights. It's not really missed opportunity if you're training. You're always learning something, especially in here. So yes, obviously fights fell through, or nothing came of it, certain dates, but I was kept training and stayed fit and stayed ready.
And I guess you sort of know Christmas out of the way as well. I guess obviously your first Christmas as a pro, when you sort of know that you have a fight coming up, did that obviously influence much of your Christmas? You always are active, like most of the lads here, you always sort of stay around your weight. Were you able to sort of have a good Christmas in the fact that, you weren't having to sort of skip second portions of dessert. You were able to have selection box and things like that. How was Christmas for you then? Sort of, was it just a case of everything is normal? You were able to eat as you normally do, because like you probably look at food, eat it, and it's like a McDonald's. It's sort of gone straight away again. How was Christmas, sort of knowing that you had another fight penciled in and it was coming up?
It was training as usual. I just trained as usual and died up until Christmas Day. Had my Christmas dinner, and then I was straight back on the diet again Boxing Day. You know, I wasn't actually when you have a fight, mate. You don't really wanna, especially when you're making weight and stuff. You don't sort of want to cheat it. So Christmas Day I had my Christmas dinner, and then after that it was straight back to training and back to dieting again. I was training on Christmas Day, so you sort of have to if you're fighting, you know. So it was just training as usual. There was no real difference, like.
And I guess sort of with Kevin Maree, obviously your promoter, obviously based in Manchester direction, I guess for him being able to see you very up close and personal, obviously in your debut, Kevin Maree's obviously been linked with quite a lot of Irish boxers in the past, like Kieran McVarnock, and started off with Carl Frampton. Was there obviously good conversation sort of afterwards, and obviously the fact that it was a deal sort of well done? Like you obviously had a few people interested before, and you decided that Kevin was a man to sort of guide your career. Is it sort of boded confidence, well, the fact that now he's seen firsthand what you're all about, that you're hoping that you're going to have a really busy 2023, you know, starting off in February?
Yeah, on the day of the weigh-in we had good chats while I was over there, and then the night of the fight, he was impressed. He says, you know, like, that guy's a live wire. You know, like, he's if you're not good, you'll not beat him. And he was impressed. You know, realistically, because he'd done the corner and he was my manager and stuff, as long as he was happy, I was happy. He says, listen, there's not many people that can go in and do that to him, because it sort of boxed the head of him a wee bit. Don't get me wrong, he was strong and he kept coming, but he didn't land much. Do you know, I think it was the first round he landed a right hand, and then that was it. And actually, that right hand done me the world of good, because it was a bit of a wakener. It was like, right, I'm in a fight here, do you know what I mean? And then I sort of switched on, but no, he was happy enough, and there was good conversation, and it was agreed to stay busy, and stay busy between fights and keep the ball rolling.
And I guess sort of, you know, for 30 days exactly, obviously put a post up used to say 1 month, 31 days, 30 days, whatever. But I guess obviously fighting in Belfast, you've obviously been to a few of these cards, obviously Mark's last year. The cards, obviously, I think there's 4 of you, obviously from the one stable on the card as well, so it's pretty much, you know, everybody get fed up seeing D on the night because they'll be obviously in the ring so much. But for you, is this sort of, is this now the realisation that you're a boxer? A lot more people's going to get to see you. You're you know, the gym, you all train and bond off each other, so friends and family of other people will stay and watch other fights and stuff as well. Is it sort of going to really kick back for you now, and you probably maybe get nerves, obviously, walking out in your Europa hotel, obviously, after being there with other people's fights? Will you now sort of look at that and go, crikey, you know, this feels like a debut game, but it's worthwhile, and it's, you know, for you, I guess it's now starting to plant the pillars of where you want to go in your professional career?
Yeah, no, I can't wait. Listen, there's always going to be nerves, no matter where you are, where you're fighting. You know, you always get them nerves, but once the bell goes, you're grand. You just get back to work. Do you know what I mean? So, I can't wait to fight in Belfast. It's actually the first time I've fought in Belfast in 4 years. So, I can't wait. I just can't wait to fight, and with all the lads on as well. Do you know, there'll be loads of support even from the gym and whatever. So now, mate, I can't wait to fight.
And I guess sort of finally looking back, obviously at 2022, obviously what a year it was for the stable. Obviously you come in at the back end of the year, but obviously Colm obviously winning and obviously defending his BA belt. Owen O'Neill obviously an absolute smasher, probably fight of the year, and obviously become BA champion. Paddy obviously won the ABO belt in Germany. Lee Rees obviously won the belt out in Canada. Glean, obviously there's something special about this place, and I've sort of said about it for a long time. You couldn't have picked a better stable to be part of.
Definitely. Again, all them achievements, you know, when you're in with people that are achieving stuff like that, everyday training, you're learning. You are always learning in here. And then with D as well, like D's sort of system he has in place, he's just non-stop learning. Like even there's these boxing awards coming up here, and I think everybody's down for something in the gym. You know, like everybody. So now, mate, there's listen, it's only really the start for him, like, and I long may it continue.
And you're obviously up for debut obviously the year as well, I guess.
Have you voted?
I don't know if I voted for that one yet, but I guess sometimes it's, sometimes I look at some of the awards things sometimes, and particularly obviously with D for Trainer of the Year. In my own personal view, and I know people sometimes don't like you to have views and everything else, but D obviously won Coach of the Year by a country mile for me, just on the achievements alone there. But sometimes it comes down to a popularity contest and who's got the most friends and followers and things like that sometimes. So even if you were the most deserving, sometimes you might not get it. But are you finding sort of, it's like, give me a vote if you want sort of thing, you're not like here and buying votes in an American election, but I guess it's a good thing for you to know that of one of the debuts that made last year, you've obviously been up for debut of the year.
Yeah, I actually was quite surprised when it came through. It was on Twitter. I was on my phone and it said Irish Boxing that tagged you, and it was the first I'd heard from it. I was like, frig, because there was a lot of like other good amateurs that turned pro in 2022, so like just to get that, I was sort of a bit shocked. So but again, obviously I think probably on the like sort of consequences of my debut, going over on my own and fighting Maguire and stuff, probably that's how I've been in there and got it. So mate, I was buzzing as well, so I was. So I think there's a few more to be announced here, and hopefully all the lads are down for something. Like it'll be good. I think we're all going to go down, so be good. Like
obviously I want to finally touch, and I know we sort of tagged something on it yesterday. Obviously Carl, obviously your good friend, I think he's actually hiding that wall somewhere. I think he's been banging the head, but obviously he wanted an interview with you today, and he obviously hasn't come up. But he knew, obviously he's probably getting to the stage now and he's sort of going, I haven't been slagged yet in this interview. But you and Carl obviously have such a great bond. Everybody in the gym has a great bond. But obviously for you and Carl, he's not wise. You're not wise. But I guess that's the thing sometimes, that is your characteristics in boxing. He's obviously watching this interview now, and he's obviously...
He probably have been off it by now. He probably have said, I haven't slobbered or said anything about me. Probably turned it off.
But obviously, the crack and the banter you have, I know obviously sometimes that can be a really, really good thing, and he's mad. He said to me last night, the night before, he said, I'm getting my nose fixed. So what can Gerard do? Because Gerard's still going to have ginger hair, so
Listen,
we're giving Carl...
He hasn't been in the gym in about 3 months. He had to get a job, right, to pay for this nose, right? So what I'm saying to him is, why are you getting a new nose? Why are you getting a new nose if you're going to still box? Is that not like a retirement thing? Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm telling him he's retired. I've been telling everybody he's retired. He's up there actually telling everybody to vote for me as well. Everybody he sees, I think, in the street, he's telling them vote for him. So he's alright. He's good crack. Like he's hard to listen to sometimes.
Is he got one of them like Trump hats and stuff on, saying vote for Gerard?
Yeah, vote Gerard. He's mental sways. But he's getting that nose fixed, and again, obviously, I don't know what the crack is with him. Hopefully, we'll see him back soon, because he's very, very good, and I think personally, like, it's a waste of talent, really. He's I don't know what he's doing. He's racking the place up. I don't know what he's doing. Like, he's nuts.
But in fairness, obviously I can thank him, because he actually decided he was going to buy me a book at Christmas. He's bought me a Mike Tyson book. Mike Tyson Customato.
Years, and he's never bought me anything. Right? Never bought. So he's bought you a book, and I've known him 10 years, and he's never bought me anything.
I think because I slate him so much, but I said to him, now look, you bought me a book. Does that mean I have to stop slagging? And he says, no. If you, he says he'll fall out with me if I don't stop slagging him.
No, mate, that's what he's doing. He's trying to buy your. He wants. You know what he does when he comes in the gym? He gets everybody on his side. So he does. That's so. When we're all having a bit of banter, he'll turn everybody else against me. So he's nuts, mate. He's bad. That's what he's doing. He's trying to buy you on his side, and so you friggin' interview him instead of me or whatever. But remember that last time? I had to hold his hand down. He wouldn't speak. He's nuts. Serious. He's bloody mad.
But I guess that's Carlo, obviously, as I call him, Conor McGregor as well. Finally, obviously, when I touch, I guess, obviously, in business, obviously, wise with you, obviously, you have your own, obviously, personal training, obviously, business in Ballycastle. But obviously, now you known as being a professional boxer, can you sort of change the print of that now to go, you're training with a pro boxer? How do you sort of now find the balance with that, obviously, with the gym and obviously training and everything else? Do you get much time for sleep, sort of, with that? Because, like, personal training in itself, so it takes up a lot of your time, but for you then to prepare yourself, eating the right foods and everything else, you must be in the go from 4 or 5 in the morning to about 10 o'clock at night.
When I'm out of camp, like I sort of like I work. The PTM works around my training, so literally just the hours that I'm free, that's what I work, you know, and I enjoy it. It's not even like it's a job. I enjoy it. It doesn't feel like a job, like training people, and I'm busy. I'm flat out, like all in. I've well over 100 clients. Like I'm flat out, and I actually just there, I think December, got an amateur boxing club started up in Ballycastle. Like few good kids, so we do have there, and we're going to. But I think this is our first year. 2023 will be our first competitive year. But load of good kids up there. Like it's like there's never been a boxing club in Ballycastle, and so that sort of came off the back of the PT. And you know, I was doing like pad work and whatever, and then there was kids. Obviously, when you're doing so much, if you're only doing pads, and there's only so much you can take them before you have to start obviously getting interested in fights or whatever. So we got that sorted, and I'm buzzing. There's going to be a few enter here, and there's anthems coming up here in 3 weeks. So I mean, it's flat out up there, but it all just works around my training. Like if I have a spare few hours during the evening and I'm well recovered and rested, I'll work. But if I'm feeling a wee bit sluggish, I'll just rest. So works. It's a good sort of like on the side thing to have, especially when you're a boxer, because you can just work it around your schedule, your training schedule. So and it's good pay as well. So.
Fantastic. And finally, obviously, tickets-wise, obviously, tickets are only still just left with boxers. Have you got many tickets left? And obviously, if anybody's looking for tickets, where can they obviously get them from you?
I've a few 60s left, but everything else is gone. I think I've like 3 or 4 60s left, but they'll probably go. You know, there's people that have said, keep me a ticket, but they haven't given me the money for it yet. So once... If you're looking at any tickets local, I can sort you out, but there's not much tickets left. Like.
Well, listen, thanks very much for your time. Obviously, great to catch up, and obviously we'll look forward to obviously seeing you whenever you go 2-0 on the 4th of February.
Definitely. Thank you very much, Marty. Thank you.